Good evening, Central Indiana, and welcome to Porch Time Live from JTH Construction Studio, where tonight we got a couple good guests. We've got Judge Williams. How you doing, sir?
Hello, I'm doing fine.
You doing fine? And then somebody else joined him here with us.
I would,
Cy
you can call me Judge, too, if you want.
That's our show, folks. We're done for the night.
I was going jury and executioner.
Right. Judge Drad, is that what you're going for?
Yeah.
Jeez, I knew this was a bad idea when he said that.
Yes.
Bring Billy in. Sure, that's great.
Real quick, I'd like to thank my sponsors, American Basement Solutions, 1-877-409-2837. Fathom Real Estate with Teresa Messmer, 765-341-8911. Drink the Creek, Cedar Creek concert, big Labor Day weekend concerts, 4th and the 5th. We'll be out there. Billy's going to be out there. He's talking about rushing the stage. We'll see. I don't know. Bland & Boys Lawn Care, 765-315-9656. Wayman's Furniture Appliance and Mattress, 765-342-4339. Wellspring, that's Bob Goodrum's group, 765-346-6661. And of course, Stid's Comfort System. It feels so good in here tonight, 765-346-0195. Who's Your Web Nerd, 317-640-4398. Logan's Cosmos over at Hair Diva, 765-318-3388. And last but certainly not least, FindHelp.org. That is Judge Williams' little group. He turned us on to this. It is not just for domestic issues. There's so much into it. We're going to talk about that right now. And then on to some other things, and including Sammy Terry. Judge, how you been, sir? It's been about a year.
Has it been that long?
We keep threatening to have you come on more often.
I keep mentioning it every time we cross paths.
We got
you just
to
kind of roll your eyes.
No,
say,
it's a
sure.
There's nothing better than a late Saturday night than we come in here and no topic and just shoot the.
You'll have to invite me to one of those sometime.
Oh, it's a done deal.
It'll be interesting. So.
We can wear hats or whatever.
Can we first say how nice the judge's hair looks tonight?
Oh my gosh, both of them.
Oh boy, leave it to him. Huh?
From the front, it looks pretty good.
Right.
From the back, it's kind of shiny.
Leave it to him. You know, I was going to stay away from it.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
And underneath that hat, he's got more hair than it's legally allowed.
That's right.
So
you got to talk about it while you got it.
Right.
Yeah, I was gonna say it'll go. It's on its way out, I'm sure. That's why I'm just letting it grow.
Down the front.
Well, at least I'm not prematurely gray.
Right.
Oh boy.
Of course, that would imply I could grow a beard to find out.
Right.
Note to self: I'll have to go get some Just for Men at Walmart later.
I can't believe you have gray hair at 29, though. That's my thing.
Right.
Hello, Tammy McClary.
I did.
Tammy, how you doing, dear?
So, all right.
All right, real quick.
FindHelp.org?
Yes, sir.
Is that
Tell
what we're going to talk about?
real quick, and I know it's a...
Well, I was on about a year ago, and we kind of talked about this program. Just to kind of back up a little bit, the Supreme Court, pre-COVID, kind of prioritized trying to deal with the opiate crisis. Remember that? Before everyone started dying of flu symptoms? And so they had put together some grants trying to let each county work on giving them resources that actually fit their local needs. And they did that through the Supreme Court budgeting from some grants from the feds. And what that materialized at in Morgan County was we created a community outreach coordinator post with Joni Bishop. And we started looking at tasks and things we could do to try to make delivery of services available, more effective, and quickly determined that having someone as a center point, information sharing would be a good idea. And she very quickly went out and located what they were calling at the time Aunt Bertha, which was the most unintuitive name. It was kind of, I think, supposed to be a counterpoint to Uncle Sam. And Aunt Bertha was the kind, loving helper, as opposed to the I want you.
Do you think they had a committee sit around and agree to that?
I don't know. I just assumed someone who was high up in the grant process says, I've got a great idea, and my aunt was Bertha. And so they quickly, during the course of us getting this up and running, changed it to FindHelp.org, which I think is much better.
Thank God.
So what that is then it becomes a clearinghouse of resources that are available locally. So if you need practically anything, whether it's information on substance abuse treatment, housing, rent assistance, education assistants, anyone who is in the community that is a helper, a nonprofit, church, otherwise that has a benefit that they're trying to put out into the community, whether it's food pantry, dental clinic that they're working on getting going. That information should be on that site, and it's really nationwide, but you can drill into a city, town, and zip code, and hopefully there's a robust information database there for each of the entities that we have. She's been working on getting all of our local nonprofits and service providers to have a meaningful listing in there, and then also has been working on getting all of those people together. So the FindHelp.org is a ongoing database that anyone can get in and look and create an account. It also creates some synergies where people who are working with a person can kind of coordinate through that, so that if they see a problem or they see someone who's asking for the wrong thing from the wrong person, that they can then themselves work on getting them connected to appropriate provider. And so that, I think, is very largely
Do they help with electrical?
electrical. I don't know. It sounds to me like there's sawing going on back there. I don't know. There might be somebody out there, but
I've had a couple people stop me and ask me over time, and I point them in that direction.
right.
They never come back and say, "Hey, we got it or not." I don't know.
Yeah.
Is there a way you can track, or do you know?
Well, it tracks itself.
Okay.
There are people can look and see what's working and not what's working and what's not working. If there are hits and no follow up, there's some data points available for the administrators, kind of at the local level. But the information sharing between providers is useful too, because if you do have someone who's just kind of going around trying to get what they can out of everybody,
Sure.
it does have some means to
Stop the scammers.
kind of show that up,
Yeah.
and at least maybe provide a reason for scrutiny and a basis for that you might not otherwise ever realize someone might need to have a conversation about
Sure.
whether their needs are really being met.
There's lots of self-help programs around, but this one's like a cover-all, correct?
Yeah, this is more like the directory for all of that.
Okay.
And the idea is that you can figure out the when and where to be able to get assistance. Most of them should have a click through that you can actually get an email or a message to a provider that should be getting monitored and get a response.
Good.
And so it's not just for substance abuse, although that's kind of what brought us together. It's housing, it's employment opportunities, it's food assistance, rent assistance, medical, able to point you at people in the community that can just kind of help you deal with generalized interfacing with the bureaucracy and the complicated, what we call agency time issues, where you're
Sure.
just trying to get through someone to get to help. We have a person in the community that literally has a grant to just sit down with people and help them navigate all that.
See, that's fantastic, and I wonder how many people even know that.
You see a lot of
Not too many.
people that are like asking for help, and it seems like they get
We get a bunch of them on
our.
our page.
Yeah.
That,
Can anybody help me with this or that?
Yeah.
The answer to that might be just post the website and let them
is it
kind of
just
start
for
helping
Morgan
themselves.
County or the state of Indiana?
It is nationwide, and again, you can type in a zip code, a city, and it'll kind of show you what resources are available. So
That's
you
fantastic.
could actually, I believe, if it's working the way it's supposed to. And of course, the level of quality of information can vary by the region, but you literally could have your cousin from Iowa call you going, "Hey, I need help out here with X, Y, or Z,"
Sure.
and they should be able to get on that website. And
That's pretty cool. So it's nationwide. Anybody, yeah.
I mean, it's a nationwide program, and how robust it is in any given area is subject to change. But the idea is that it's a nationwide clearinghouse, the 211,
Sure.
the computer based,
Sure.
and 211 doesn't really tell you anything about what it's about. And
Well, I feel more
Antwerp
educated.
didn't really clue you in either, but FindHelp's pretty
Yeah, I feel more educated on it now.
That's there, and it's open 24 hours. It's not manned by someone answering a phone, and it's available. Hopefully, people are using it.
Right.
We've had Joni out trying to raise awareness of its existence at the.
Do you need to take it?
No.
I mean, we can kill the mics a
No,
minute.
that's okay.
Is that Sammy Terry?
It was not much nicer than Sammy Terry. So I totally lost my train of thought.
Was it Aunt Bertha?
It was not. So
if we want to donate, who to? Teresa's asking. Or is this is a governmental agency?
Well, it's really not something that we would take donations for at this point. What it would let you do is maybe figure out who you would want to donate to out of our local providers, whether it's
Sure.
Habitat for Humanity, Stability First, Wellspring, Magdalene House, any of those. And so it's a kind of a grant-funded entity that I don't know that it spends a lot of time concerning itself with fundraising. Might be a better Joni question. So I need to turn the mic or get up in here. Okay.
Sorry, Carol.
See if that's any better.
I always got my mic louder than theirs. I should.
Well,
Mic check showing. Is that better? I turned the master volume up.
yeah.
Go ahead, Judge. Give me a thumbs up. You can hear him.
Let me know. I got accused of yelling at somebody one time from the bench for just kind of speaking up, and so I kind of quieted down, and it didn't help me out any, I don't think. But
I want to get him and Judge Hanson in here and just walk away.
Just see how it goes. It'll be a good time. So, but no, I don't think we're not in the cruising for donations for this. We would much rather figure out who you think in the local community is worth your dollars and add into that, whether it's churches in mission. I mean, there's lots of places. So that's a good segue into one of the other things Joni's doing.
Joni's a busy gal.
She is. And it was really kind of ironic because COVID hit just about the time she was hitting her stride.
Yep.
And she was supposed to be going out and seeing all these people. And they're like, don't call us, we'll call you. And don't come in our building and don't come around. And we're all working from home anyway. So
Put the stop on that, didn't it?
Well, it did. And that's kind of why she wound up going in the direction of just trying to make this computer assisted directory very robust. But now that we're kind of getting back to the real world, she has started a monthly luncheon for all of the service providers.
Wow.
And so they meet anyone that's interested. And they just kind of all sit down in a room about twice the size of this and just kind of introduce themselves and talk about what they're doing, what they're providing. New programs, needs. It's been kind of cool. I've gone to a few of them.
I was going to say, is there any way I can sneak an invitation into that just to go
just
listen
kind of go see what it is?
Yeah, and
I don't know why you
provide
could.
input.
You could be my very special guest. And they serve lunch too most of the time. So, but it's just kind of neat to see someone sit down and go, "Hey, we're trying to do ABC and we need X, and we're having real trouble finding X and Y." And someone on the other side of the table is like, well, we got 3 X's and a Y we can give you this afternoon.
Sure.
And just to see people collaborate and share resources to keep people moving. They're working on getting a dental clinic going through, I think, churches in mission.
We have a lot of groups that do many wonderful things for the community.
Yeah. And so they're just kind of neat to see things flowing and moving. And so usually we always have people there from Habitat and Stability First. And,
that's awesome.
And churches in mission are there. And it's just a very impressive group to see people working on just communicating and working to meet needs and sharing some victory stories and encouraging. It's a neat thing. So we just got her grant approved for a 3rd year for Joni to be kind of around doing this. So she's still going to be continuing on, I think.
That's a lot of work.
Approved. The grant was re-offered and submitted. I don't think we've got the official thumbs up, but there's no reason to expect that something that's working won't be allowed to continue.
We got to get Joni in here one of these times.
Well, she's camera shy.
Is she?
Yeah.
Unlike us.
Yeah. Well, I know. It's fun to have her look young, and she goes, "I'm twice as good as looking as you." And I'm not getting on camera. It's like, okay.
Such a great venue.
I think she's
Exactly,
afraid
Connie.
of attracting stalkers and
Yeah.
would-be suitors.
You know, you and I go through that too. So.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Face for radio.
Yeah, face for radio. Uh-huh. You want to be my stalker and really make me crazy? I'm just going to tell you the way to get my goat is come paint my house. You trim my shrubs, I'm going to freak out.
Cut my yard. There's lots of changes going on down the center of town.
Right.
And you guys might be moving, not be moving. Some of you moving. Can you give us some skinny on that?
Well, I think so. I don't think I'm speaking out of school at this point to say that the county council and the commissioners have been working for about the past year to make some planning for the future. Right now, as things stand, they've spent about a year talking about maybe a building out at the fairgrounds for like soil and water, trying to create some space. And the original plan that we had was to create a two-story justice building in what is the parking lot on the back of the admin building, which is really the front of the admin building, and then make an entrance on the side of the admin building that's kind of actually on the front, facing Main Street of the building. So I think I got that right. And so they were going to do a two-story building, and the long-term goal to do it in bites was solve the parking problem, which is where, if you've seen the stories of them talking about a parking garage, or talking
four
about
stories parking
right,
garage,
or building a parking lot. And so they have come through with making arrangements, I think, with all of the local adjacent landowners that they are going to acquire their properties or have, and are looking to build a non-structure parking area. So, and that's going to save money.
So no parking garage.
No, they're kind of done with that. It's going to save them a bunch of money. The whole reason for the parking garage is because everyone is respectably super reluctant to use eminent domain to do any of this. And even if it would save the taxpayers money, they've been very reluctant to do that. So they've been talking to the adjacent landowners, trying to get everybody to get to happy without using the government to take any real estate.
I'm for a parking garage. Well, there should have been one downtown years ago, in my opinion.
Well,
or close to.
I'm neutral on it. We just need parking if we're going to be over there.
100%.
And we need surveilled parking. There's a lot of potential for nuisance with a parking garage. The people hanging out, and it would be better than living under the bridge on White River down on the bypass. So I think you'd have to patrol and make sure people aren't. I mean, it's closer to the Polar Pop shop. I mean, that's some prime real estate for just hanging out in a tent on the second floor.
So what you're saying is I could open a business up inside that parking garage.
Rental
space.
You might talk to the commissioners about the concession.
That's true. Why are these areas chalked off like this?
There's always a way to save some money and help the taxpayers out. But so they're past the parking, and they're now working on planning for a justice building. The original plan was a two-story building that would move the courts into there, and then eventually move the administrative offices into the courthouse. So courts out, courthouse empty, courthouse renovated, administrative offices into the courthouse, leaving admin somewhat empty. And then we're going to renovate admin, and that's where the prosecutor and probation was going to go, and get us all kind of under one roof, one-stop shopping for your criminal justice needs, or your
requirements,
your unwants and needs. And so they're now talking about a 3-story building that's going to move probation and the prosecutor in about the same time they move us in, which is going to get us out of the Toner building with probation earlier, which is net negative on maintenance and costs.
Right.
And then getting the prosecutor in eventually. They've got a very nice facility over there where the reporter used to be right now, and that's leased for several years. And then eventually they'll have prosecutor probation either in the first floor of this new building in admin, and then they're going to leave, I think, some of the the non-constitutional offices, soil and water,
Sure.
the veteran services officer, probably in that justice building. And of course, then that will all be secured. Probation is going to have the same security the courthouse is going to have. That's going to save money and save spreading resources amongst several buildings.
Is the plan to get back into the courthouse at some point, though, or are they going to?
Well, the plan is when they're going to renovate the courthouse and try to get it modernized and deal with a lot of the age and environmental issues, and then once that's done,
is that what was
mold,
that was
pigeons,
the big thing? Yeah.
Radon, the plume. I don't know what all is going on over there, but they're wanting to try to address all that, and then they're going to probably not have anything in the basement, which is probably the most problematic area, and then have like treasurer, recorder, auditor, assessor, the kind of the elected areas that are non-judicial in there.
Okay, and that'll be like a permanent.
That's kind of like what Monroe County has done.
Sure,
is their downtown courthouse is their kind of county offices, and then the courts and all of that are over on the Justice Building that is on the southeast corner of the square, like a block away. As you roll in downtown on Walnut.
I just know how to get to Zagrops, literally down there.
So. The only thing they did wrong was they built the jail above all those offices, so when the inmates are mad and they can flood, water, gravity still works in the building.
Oh.
I don't know how that orange jumpsuit got in there. Wow.
It's weird how that Long John t-shirt won't flush. I kept trying all night. Yeah. So we're not going to do that.
But they're not tearing down the courthouse clock tower or nothing like that.
None, I do not believe there are going to be any changes to the historic exterior of that.
Good.
That may get new windows. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm kind of staying out of that. I've been working with the architects on good courtroom and courthouse design, and it's going to be a net positive to the community. We're going to have room for growth.
Good.
We're going to have secure areas where we don't really now. When you come in for jury duty, you're going to come in and you're going to walk past kind of a point of no return for the day, and you're not going to be wandering the halls with the victim, the defendant, victim's family, the defendant's family, the media.
Yeah, that's scary.
We're going to be able to have divorce hearings that you have kids sitting in the hallway, and they're not going to run the 8 guys from the chain gang down the middle of the hallway while they're sitting there. We're going to have Chin's hearings that are going to be not in the middle of the mess with all the other hearings, and we'll be able to have staff and jurors in a separate flow pattern. Defendants will be going to be able to run them out of a sally port from the jail in a secure fashion, so they'll have some intermixing with the court staff secure hallways, but they won't be out wandering through public areas if they come over for proceedings. So that'll help with trafficking. That'll help with security on both in and out of the jail. And so it's, we're working on trying to do everything modern. Yeah. The only thing I've been told that we're not doing is underground secure parking for judges because it costs too much. So,
did you ask for that though? No.
Jokingly, yeah. I drive an old car that I really don't care if somebody tears it up.
You have some fabulous cars though. You have some amazing cars, and that's going to segue.
I don't have amazing cars. I drove old junk that's fun to own and run.
You have a hearse.
Well, I do have a hearse.
That is just amazing.
It's fun. The Porsche is fun. The motorcycles are fun. I'm still trying to figure out. I've got car money right now, and I have no idea what to do with it because the market's so silly.
Right.
So, but my poor daughter, through no fault of her own, totaled 2 cars in 45 days.
Oh.
And so both times not at all her fault. And first was her car, which we're trying to figure out what to replace that with. And
I'd go with another hearse. I think that'd be cool.
Well, the hearse is still out there. It's she didn't total it. That was my son that spectacularly totaled.
Is it
the first hearse?
Okay.
Yeah, the Ford Explorer hearse.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a fun car.
But you still got
the big Cadillac.
Yeah,
I've got it.
That thing's a beast.
It's running. It's I need to spend about 2
As
days.
long as you can get it out there and get it parked for Sammy
Get
Terry.
out there and parked. I can probably give
We can give a couple of rides. Give a couple of rides in
We
the
need to do that.
cemetery.
That'd
Yeah.
be fun.
I'd like to
Oh,
get
he did
Sammy
it.
in the back of it, but he's like,
He was like a little leery of, but I think we've got a good relationship
Yeah.
now where I think
Sammy,
he
does
trusts
it
me.
smell like ether?
Right. The first year we got pictures in there, and then I think he was like, "Yeah, I'm not going to leave.
it's
I'm going to
embalming
stay
fluid,
here."
sir. You should be cool with that. Yeah. No, I mean,
Why wouldn't he though? You know what he wants.
yeah,
Well,
so-
it's the
That's what he
whole
does,
thing. It's
yeah.
like it, but he's like wants to stay on site. Like he does. I mean, I get it. Like
Yeah,
you
no.
get mixed in with goobers, man. You don't know what you're getting into and
Right.
stuff. Like
Wasn't his shop up there at the mall where they?
it's still up there,
Have
man.
you ever been up that place?
to his little studio.
Yeah.
Now, where's it at? Is it like at Lafayette Square? Or
Yeah, it's at Washington Square.
Washington
yeah.
Square? Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if it's Sammy Terry is scarier is inside or what's going on in the whole neighborhoods outside there.
We all walk out
Uh-huh.
together.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I love the original, and we have this conversation,
Yeah.
Billy and I I can't get past this guy, and I don't know what it is, but you know, when kids, it scared the crap out of you.
Oh, he was.
Well,
It was terrifying.
It's just
Yeah.
like he was older and rougher and had a different way about him. His son's kind of taken on a. I mean, I think the original, like his dad, had a comedy bit to it, but I think
This
his
was a little
son's
more
definitely.
adult, though, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. His son's taken it, but he's very entertaining and he's very
Oh, I've
savvy
absolutely loved the shows.
when it comes to marketing because he's taken it and kind of got away. I know he wants to be back on TV again like his dad was and all that, but I think he's found different avenues to reach people.
Right.
And
We got to get him in Judge's hearse.
Well, he did get in the back of the hearse.
We
that
did.
First time
I was
he
gonna
came
say we
down.
got
I remember
pictures.
that.
He came down and got in, and we got a couple photos. Those are a couple of my prized possessions. Is Sammy Terry holding a goblet made of uranium glass, kind of glowing in the dark, in the back of my.
We got to get him in there and
Yeah.
drive around town. with
It
him.
would be nice if we could do like a charity auction or something
Oh,
for just a
yeah.
cruise around the block in a hearse. With
Oh
Sammy Terry.
yeah,
We wouldn't go out to the forestry or anything. We could just
drive over to Ohio Street, the cemetery, and just drive straight into that.
drive in and out of the cemetery. That's
You probably raised some big bucks for
Well,
that.
dude,
I
don't
touched
know.
Cotton the minute that he got in the car and we
You
drove to the
just-
cemetery.
we-
tell him he's in for a cut and see what he has to say.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
but the thing is,
That's yeah. I mean,
well, he's a
money
business.
talks,
He's a
dude.
businessman.
Yeah.
He's not doing it and driving all over everywhere
mhm.
for free. I mean, he's not doing it. But like, neither do these bands that come out, and neither do these comedians that come out. I mean, they're that's their business, and he's got an actual business that he actually does, and this is just like, I mean, you know,
What's his normal business? Or are you allowed to say? Is that confidential?
He might actually. He's an IT guy, I believe. So
He shows up with those latex kitchen gloves and we're done. But
he's like, "Oh, let me get this. Hang on, move out of the way. Let me get there." No, man, like,
what do you think, George?
but the speaking of the
That would
studio
be
up there,
surreal. It's the point where Sammy Terry comes over and he's looking over your shoulder and he finally goes, move.
right,
I'm done at
Takes your
that point.
chair,
Control,
sits
delete.
down, fixes it all.
I would love to have him in here, but it's
He's
pretty penny to get him down there for
pricey.
that day.
Yeah. Well,
But he will call in. He'll do whatever. He'll call radio stations. He'll go to news outlets. I mean, he does do a good job promoting.
We got to get him in. We got to get him.
He's funded me. This show's actually done pretty well. Like this is the 5th year, and
has it been that many?
he's actually said he's like, hey, if you want to do more, let's get together. And it's like, man, I would love to, but this one about kills me. Like trying to get everything together
Get all
for it.
together. Well, I know you'll have a hearse parked out front. It'll probably still be rusty.
That is awesome.
And you may have to jump it off. when
People
you're
get
done.
pictures, but people expect it to be there to get
Horse-drawn
pictures.
hearse.
And
I hope so.
I mean, that is.
Can we start like trending hashtag judges hearse after that?
We
Get-
can
get
start a
some Instagram
fundraiser.
love or something. Yeah.
I'm trying to do it where it's free to get in this year, and that way it's completely packed. And
Yeah.
because of the last couple of years with COVID, we've still had people there, but it's kind of been
it kind of trailed off.
With the sponsors have always been there. Everybody's always stepped up and everything. So I'm going to keep doing that. But what I'm going to do is I bought a very nice set of Michael Myers custom-made Halloween cornhole boards, and I'm going to do every sponsor that for every $10 you sponsor, you get a chance to win these boards, and they're one of a kind. And
you're gonna have a ping pong ball drawing, is what I'm hearing.
I've got Cameron made me some tickets. They're getting printed. I should have them probably this week. But that's what I'm giving the sponsors instead of entry tickets. And that way too, like when they come in, maybe that gets some more people in. Because every year I get 4 or 5 calls. Hey, are kids $10 too? Well, it's all going to a donor. It's all going to the food pantry. So it's like, yeah.
Right.
And then like people like
still less than going to the movies with a kid.
Right. And there's always a couple of sponsors that have helped out where they've donated their tickets back, and I've given those to people. So like it always works out, but it's kind of like this year I want to try to do it for free, and hopefully the sponsors stay on board, and then we can make a little bit more sponsorship money off the cornhole boards. And
well, if you got Michael Myers cornhole boards, you need some like runner-up prizes, like maybe a really good knife set. And,
I like the way you're thinking. See, this is brainstorming, man. This is
you can go down to one of the pawn shops and get you some nice knives. I guarantee you,
Right.
for a decent price.
You might be able to just go buy all the kitchen knives at Goodwill.
Might be able to, right?
You know,
That's true.
all autographed by Sammy Terry.
Yeah, and he's
you can't get rid of that picture though.
That's the thing too.
In the back of the hearse.
Yeah. No.
Did you get that picture autographed? You should get that blown up and have him sign
Get
it
it autographed
because he's like super about that.
Yeah, I should. I may. That's a good thought.
Bring it this year.
Yeah, I'll have to blow.
We got to do something. We got to make it this year bigger than ever. We got to get him in there.
Mm-hmm. So
but
now I'd work on him just like a 10 block. Right around the block with Sammy Terry.
How good a rapport do you have with him? Can you call him up and kick ideas like that with him?
Yeah.
See what he says money wise.
Plant the seed early. We'll
yeah. He's we've brainstormed a little bit already.
Tell him we're also talking to Elvira though too.
Mm-hmm.
So
You're right.
Well, here's the deal. Y'all get me a girlfriend. We'll get her dressed up like Elvira. And,
hashtag save the judge.
hashtag Brian's bad idea.
Right. No, there's no bad
Chock
ideas.
full of them. No. Yeah, that'd be fun. I mean, what we used to do is when we did hearse rides all the time down at Gentry at the martial arts, and just had an absolute blast. And you'd never been on a hearse ride before. You got to go first, and we'd tool them like up to the top of the hill on Morton Avenue, and turn around, up there north of the Y, and then come down. We'd go get in the cemetery there by the liquor store. And in the back.
Okay.
And slow down, and I would be like waxing eloquent about the nicest tombstone in the graveyard, and then one of the dads at the school would rip open the back door and go, "Get out of my graveyard!"
Oh, fantastic!
Jump scare, all the kids scream, swear them all to silence.
You have to hose it
bring them back in, do the
there.
next. Yeah.
So he
just absolute scream.
He raffled off 2 of those one year, and like they kept sitting there. Like what we would do is draw a ticket, and people would go up and pick like a pumpkin pillow or a poster that was signed or whatever. Yeah. And they were leaving these up there, and I was like,
I don't think nobody understood what was really going on.
The people that got them were like, they wouldn't shut up about it.
I remember.
They got back.
I remember
they were
after
like, man,
the fact,
this is incredible. And,
we had someone on air that had done it.
Yeah.
And just potluck.
Right. So
that's all they did.
Yeah.
And I mean, they see it coming in. They have to know what it's about.
Maybe we need to get a sign guy to make a big sign that says, "You can ride in me tonight."
Tonight.
Bid early.
I know a sign. I know a guy's going to be making signs.
I heard there might be a guy around. So
I don't know. We'll have to look here in a little bit.
No, it's fun, and we hauled those guys around, and they're like, "Go over here," and they were like calling people on the phone, "Come out in your yard."
You came back with more people, right?
Yeah, they like stopped at 2 or 3 places.
Right.
Can I get in? I'm like,
Yep.
I don't
Just
care.
lay down the back.
Yeah. No, when I got that, I actually looked into because I thought it might be fun to just do like the limo, kind of just do 50th birthday parties.
Oh my gosh! Can you? Or you have to have CDL.
Well, I don't know that you got to have
Or
a
limo
CDL, but
license,
I talked to my insurance guy about it, and I think you would have to get a 1984 GM vehicle up to spec, probably on DOT inspections, starting with an unbroken windshield, which is a big ask on a lot of hearses because those are hard to find at times.
What if we just got a horse to pull it? If we like a carriage, kind
The
of.
Amish cemetery.
Do that.
So
Isn't that what you used to do in the parade?
Yeah.
They had, I think it was,
Yeah.
was it one of the local?
Some of the local guys have got a horse
Was it
drawn.
Kieran Hensley that had that? Wasn't that who
I
it
think
was?
so.
But they're not renting it out as limo. But no, I got an insurance quote on it that was like $4,000 or $5,000 a half or a year. I mean, it was one of those things where if I was going to do it for fun, I would have to do so much of it that it would no longer be fun.
Right. Then
And
it
so
became
I
a
was
job.
just like, because I'd have probably had to put $5,000 into getting the thing.
Nope.
What I will call
Up to snuff.
Yeah, roadworthy according to the government, and so it's just been occasionally I fool people around for fun with the idea.
If you've seen it
not
in
for
town, it's
hire.
magnificent.
I love
don't
he
care
always
what
parks
they
it
say.
right there where everybody can see it on Main and Morgan. That's like
It's kind of falling
or Main
apart
and Washington,
now,
I
but
guess.
It's 84 GM product if it starts at all. It's
magnificent.
It's a macabre miracle every time it turns over. So.
Well, what day is the cemetery event this year?
Sunday, October 23rd.
Is that parade day? No,
Parade's, I
after
think
the parade.
parade's 2 weeks earlier, or maybe a week or two earlier. I think.
Didn't you have it on parade day one year?
Yeah, I was on the float and jumped off because I had to go set stuff up. So, like, we got about the Presbyterian church, and I bailed off the float and took off running.
I remember that now.
Yeah,
I'm getting text from the electrical crew.
So, but no, that'd be great. I would love to do some kind of a fundraiser for.
And it goes, like I said, it goes to a good cause. I mean, everything above expenses going out, everything goes to the food pantry, and it's perfect timing because you've got Thanksgiving and Christmas coming up, and
food's gotten expensive over the last 2 weeks.
It sure has.
Gas and food.
Bag of chicken nuggets is $10.99 now.
Are you eating a whole bag now? Wow.
But it is true, man. Everything's going up. So
that's a fun. Thank you, Stephen. All the way in Texas. 1,000. He comes in with 1,000. Wow. That's awesome. Thank you, Stephen. So 23rd, is that what you said?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock, 23rd. How we go about getting tickets, or have you got that done yet?
I'm right now. I'm working on it, so it'll be free admission and general admission seating. But like I said, the sponsors are going to be the ones that are hopefully going to continue to.
Are you going to run a food drive off of it for canned goods?
What I thought about doing was having either a donation bucket, like when you come in. Mm-hmm. The thing about the food is if people bring it in, now you got to haul it. I mean, it's only right in the back, but
it's like 40 feet.
But it's like
it becomes a logistical issue.
So
put your latex gloves on and walking across the alley.
But that's another thing too about him. He stays.
That's what we could do is the Load the Hearse fundraiser. Absolutely fill the back of that.
Wow,
I like that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That is a good idea. Till the sharks give out.
Actually, that had air ride in it.
Only fresh fish,
to me
please.
Seems superfluous because no one in the back's ever going to complain.
They're not going to complain, are they? Do you have a casket back there?
I do not. It's done out like a limo in the back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the person I bought it from, it's got seating for 7, kind of on a little L bench that they put around the back on the driver's side and the rear. And then it's got a backward seat kind of right behind the divider.
Like a rumble seat?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it's facing the other, facing rearward. And it's an actual automotive bench out of some Buick or Cadillac somewhere. So
Saying, do
you
we
can
need
get
to
about
do we need to
9
get a
people.
casket?
We've got the epic
Yeah.
picture of all of us on the outside.
Yeah.
Oh,
When
it's
it
standing
was
in
on the
front of
alley.
it,
Yeah.
No, the one my son had was a 1991 Ford Explorer hearse. It was a bizarre vehicle. I've seen 2 of them in the world as I've been out like trolling on eBay and car sites. And it still had what they call the table in the back with the rollers and everything.
Oh, wow.
And I thought for a kid's first car, that'll be great because it seats 2. And so, he won't have 50 people in the car with him. And so he had it about 2-3 years. And
That was his first car?
Uh-huh. Well, I bought it on a lark. It was like on eBay, and I threw in this lowball bid on this hearse out
And got it.
Pennsylvania, and it was like got down at the end of the day. I was like, "Son of a gun, I won that thing." It was like less than $2,000.
Is that your first hearse?
Yeah.
He's
And-
been hooked since.
Oh, it was because we just had an absolute blast. I mean, we'd roll up to the drive-through and I'd order whatever, and and the guys would do anything else. And
Were
someone in
you
the back
dressed
is
like
going,
you were?
"Brains!"
He came dressed up in the whole getup at the one show where you're doing the tours and stuff, but
Mhm.
perfect. Like, yeah.
So, but he had that, and we had a great time with it, and then he spectacularly destroyed it.
No, that's too
And
bad.
yeah,
So
it
it's
was.
gone.
I came upon the scene of the crime coming home from work, and
Ah.
it was like out in a cornfield, and it didn't roll, but it was pretty near as close to it as you could do it without it. He went across like a 4-foot deep, 2 and 3 foot wide ditch, and took the front wheels off of it, and just
Oh, wow.
it was long gone when I rolled up, and so, but-
Jumping ramps.
Yeah, I never did get a satisfactory explanation as to exactly what was.
Was it out at
Deer ran out
44
from
right there on a couple of them?
No,
little-
it was actually on Edgar Road at like Cragen, and
Oh, yeah.
he got into
Yeah, there you go.
one of those where there's a T, and then there's like the round kind of corner as it comes in, and there's a very deep, fairly wide ditch there, and he went across that and into the cornfield.
That'll do it.
And that's one of those enduring mysteries of exactly how he and the 7 people who were in the back. Yeah, I rolled up on that, and all these kids are
I'm
standing
telling
around,
you, if
so.
you could you imagine in a fall night rolling through the forestry and that,
Oh,
taking
yeah.
tours through that with that.
We've done that. That Gentry, we would haul the kids around, and then a lot of times when it was over, a lot of like kind of the core crew down there,
You would go through the
we
forestry.
went out to the forestry and then got thrown out by the DNR in the hearse. It was a good time. So
Oh, dear.
yeah, because you go out to the Step Cemetery, and
Did
we're
you?
kind of trying to be quiet out there, and powers that be are having none of that.
No.
So I was like, man.
Probably didn't flash the judge badge on that, did you?
No,
Like,
there's this thing called ethics, and one of the rules is when you encounter the police, you don't mention who you are. Unless,
right. I've seen
know.
videos about that stuff.
Yeah, it's a
Oh,
good
give me
rule of
two.
life that if there's ever a moment where you're tempted to say, "Don't you know who I am?"
Yeah, it's
you
not a good.
shouldn't, because they obviously don't, and they may not be impressed.
Right.
So
You see that gnarly crew walk through here? They're working on some wiring for us. So
yeah. But no, I've had a lot of fun in that car, and
Not bad.
It needs a little bit of electrical love right now. The gizmos that I've put in it.
So date wise, if you can find a chick that likes a
Uh-huh.
hearse ride, or would we go Porsche first night? It's a toss up.
I usually don't. I don't lead off with the hearse.
I was gonna say I'm not sure you're gonna get the
That's
same
your
type of
go-to.
girl as
That's
either.
not the. Yeah, that's not.
I guarantee you,
Uh-huh.
there's girls out there that would rather ride in that than the
Oh yeah, yeah.
Porsche.
Oh, absolutely. So
Those are probably the fun
yeah.
people.
Right. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
do you know what?
So,
Sometimes you got to kiss a few frogs or whatever gremlins.
I love it.
once a few goth girls.
Right.
So.
Well,
No,
Judge?
I can't say that I have tried to aspire to romance in hers. That's not,
we got to make something happen with Sammy Terry this year. I think it's a must.
I'm in.
We
I'm in.
That's great.
So
we got to do something with it,
Yeah.
honestly, and we will. We'll figure something out. You guys got you got contacts for him.
oh
right?
yeah.
There's been a every year it's gotten better. I don't want to say easier, but it's everybody knows kind of now, and they probably hate me from September to the show in October because I
don't think that
constantly
really
flood stuff on Facebook about it. But it's very important to me,
That's
and
what you have to do.
It-
I mean,
well,
you
it's-
just mention stuff once and then let it go, and then you've got someone on, November 1st looking around. Why didn't you tell me?
I tell
I
you
had
what,
no idea.
I do it.
All the time.
I mean,
Starting September 1st, and I go until the show.
what you need to
and
do
the
is
day
get
after.
like a giant wrap on your vehicle, like
And Rob,
Robbie Hills does. And
I,
say, Sammy is coming.
I don't know that I pull that type of weight where that I could get
contact
that.
Hubler.
Right.
Tell him we want to wrap the hearse.
There we go.
Finally knew a sign guy.
Hey, they may be able to wrap vehicles too. Well, that one might be able to. I'm not.
So
I'm sure it's
signs. No, the sanitary hearse, that would be epic.
that would be.
Yeah.
Yep.
He'd want
could
to cut off that.
He would say, "Wait a minute."
Yeah.
That
Follow me
copyrighted?
to the sanitary show
There you
on
go.
the 23rd. So, no, that would be an absolute blast.
I love it. I'm always excited about it, but as soon as it ends and everybody packs up and goes home, I think, I'm ready to take a few days off, and I know
You debate whether or not you're going to do it again next year.
It always comes, and then
he does.
I get everything like kind of situated and put up and unloaded, and then when we hand the money over, it's like that's a good feeling, and it's like to know
Absolutely.
that like all the hard work was worth it, and I hope that everybody that chips in or sponsors or whatever get that same feeling, because they do. They've been coming back every year. Hey, Brad Rose is a perfect example. The guy's like always helpful for whatever, but he's got his car show out there on Thursdays. And last year, I hadn't heard anything from him, but I'm driving on Washington Street and I'm like just kind of browsing at all the cars I'm going by, and I hear, hey, I look over and it's Brad. He's like, I'm gonna get with you. I mean, it's just and Pam and John from the Candy Kitchen.
Yeah,
Every year,
Yeah.
it never fails. They're always like, hey, come see me. So it's nice that I don't feel like I have to bug people now. I feel like they're invested into it too, and
No, it's great.
you obviously, like, you're usually one of the first people I talk to, and Dean,
Roberson?
yes,
Yeah.
every year.
Who has a
Haunted-
increasingly impressive haunted front
Yes,
yard
every year.
Yeah.
good stuff.
Holographs and
there was a guy showed up last year that does like movie Halloween mask, and he actually had set up down there too, and was kind of just displaying his stuff, which was kind of a nice surprise. And he had done work with Sammy Terry and other like Halloween type film stuff. I'm gonna try to get him back, but I don't know, just kind of neat little things. It's just kind of growing a little bit every year.
yeah.
Well, we will look into that, and we're going to do something with Sammy Terry. I promise you, Judge. We got to get you back in here on Saturdays, on some Saturday night when we're all in here. So I'm being texted by the electric crew and goes, "Hey, we got to kill the power." So
you're gonna end it
already.
End it one way
Sammy,
or
it's
another.
your fault.
They got to kill the power. If you're dealing with an electrician that thinks they have to turn off power for the whole building, they're able to work on a little tiny part of the building.
It's 220, so they're scared. So yeah.
Thank you,
Billy. No, we got to. I want to make that happen with Sammy Terry, because we can't let that hearse go to waste anymore. We got to make something right with it, and if we get a sign company that'll wrap it, dude,
That'd be
phenomenal.
an absolute blast.
It's a game changer.
Yeah. So
you even brought it over for fall foliage one year, and let me I think you just parked it out there and let me set up and sell tickets or something outside the art sanctuary.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, it was.
We've done a
maybe
few
it was the
different
year that
things.
it was the night before the. It was the day.
I think-
I'm
yeah,
telling you,
I
that's
think-
when we had the photo taken in front of it.
Yeah,
It's-
that photo was the first year.
Yeah, this wasn't. I don't think it was the first year, but it was.
First or second year.
But yeah, and it's just it's an eye catcher. It absolutely draws people in. Like, well, what's going on here?
Yeah,
like,
well, yeah, that was my son. One more story. He had this hearse that he was, and he drove to school and drove it around and
That's
everything.
crazy.
And he went over to my grandmother's house in Morgantown one Saturday morning to help her clean out her closets all day. So this hearse rolls over and sits in front of her house for hours. So he gets there about 10:30. Come about 1 o'clock, the phone starts ringing.
Oh.
Is everything okay?
Right. People's curtains are opening up.
We're
and
getting calls.
You bring the gurney
my
out.
mom's getting calls.
Right.
Is your
Put the
mom
sheet
all
over it.
right? There's a hearse in her
Put some
house
couch
for the last
cushions on it and
week.
roll it out with a sheet on it.
Yeah, so
That's brutal.
it was great.
That's
And of course, the
brutal.
Ford Explorer was just bizarre because what it was what they call a first call car, like
Yeah.
Kieran Hensley or. They've got like the Dodge Caravan that's got like
Right,
the
yeah.
Sure.
Landau on it. That's not very hearsy, but it is. And but since it was a Ford Explorer, usually I love Morgan County. I just love Morgan County because you roll up to a gas station in the other 91 counties in Indiana in that car, and you'd get, "Hey, is there a dead body in the back?"
Right.
And so you roll up to a gas station in Morgan County in a Ford Explorer hearse, and the first question is, "Is that a 4x4?"
Right.
You never know.
Sadly, it was not, but that would have been the best.
All right, Judge. We got to get off here, but
All right. Well, thanks for having me.
anytime.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna make a note of it and get you in here on Saturday. You live right here in town, so
Well, just out of town.
Yeah.
I live out in God's country of Green Township.
there you go. That's the place to
On
be.
just a few curvy, fun corners on
As long as that
State Road 44
as
away
long as that
from
hearse will
town.
make it, but it's just Stan's place.
It'll make it. It'll make it to the Art Sanctuary, which is a amazing place to go see Sammy Terry.
That okay.
What a great venue!
And
for
yeah,
that.
That
Ron-
feel
block-
to it.
Ron does a good job with
Limestone.
it every year too. Like
Yeah,
he
so-
gets everything set up and got it was Texas Roadhouse did the barbecue last year. Did you get
Mhm.
any of that?
What?
My gosh, that was really and they're coming and doing it all again.
I'm
Like,
not there for food. I'm there. To get
Oh,
scared.
once you start smelling that, you're
Do I
gonna
look
be
like
there
I
for
eat a lot or
food.
something? Is
No,
that what you-
not. I'm not saying that skinny. What are you doing? Gonna say you lost a couple
Mhm.
You got
pounds.
hair in your skinny. I've had enough of you. So, all right, Judge. Thank you so much.
Well,
Billy,
you're
thank
welcome.
you so much.
Thanks for having me over. FindHelp.org. If you need something, that's a great place to start. And
Use it.
yep,
Joni, your hardest worker in the group too. We love her.
Yep.
So
sure. Shout out to her. Sure appreciate all the work that she's put in. Another shout out for her. She's been working also on mental health for our public servants and first responders, and
That's
we've had
fantastic.
some mental health and suicide issues, and she has taken on as part of what she's doing, spearheading, making sure we don't have that,
it's fantastic.
figuring out how to catch it early. So it's up to her too. So something else we're working on.
Always striving for perfection around here and making improvements for everybody.
Yep.
Judge, thank you. Billy, thank you. Love you guys. Maybe
Thanks
I'll
for
be
having
back
me on. It's
anytime.
always a pleasure.
We'll see you guys maybe tomorrow night. I think I got a show. I think Helms is in. I'll have to check. See you guys.